Hey, everybody. Good morning. Roman Polnar coming to you live here, Pillar 6 College Planning. And welcome to this week's Financial Aid Wednesdays. It's when we take some financial aid topic apart to help you find more money to pay for college and see your kids graduate without a mountain of debt and get a head start in life without being held back by having to pay off a ton of those really bad loans. And so we're here to help you find more money to pay for college that is debt free, money you don't have to borrow, money you don't have to pay back. And in this episode, what we're going to talk about is negotiating for the best financial aid award. That's right, folks. We're going to talk about negotiating, which is something that so many people don't know is an option. And today I'm going to tell you not only that it is, but everything you need to know to negotiate with colleges in the best way so you can get the best results. And there are three things I want to tell you off the bat. Number one, their first financial aid offer is usually not the final offer. Number two, the first financial aid offer you get is usually not the best offer. And number three, negotiating cannot hurt you and it cannot hurt your kids because the biggest fear that parents tell me they have next to probably public speaking, going to the dentist and then paying for college is that if they ask for more money, that they feel it might jeopardize their kids' ability to actually go to that school because they've been working so hard just to get their kids in school that they can't imagine doing something that can make the college yank that offer and their kids are going to be left without a college to go to. So let me just put this concern to rest. Negotiating cannot hurt your student. If they've been accepted, they will not get that admission or acceptance letter or offer rescinded just because you're asking for more money. So don't worry about it. So let me just really quickly go through this because when your kids get their financial aid offer from colleges, when they get accepted, they're going to get a financial aid offer. If you applied for financial aid, you're going to get some kind of an offer. And oftentimes, because kids and their parents are just so relieved that their kids already got into college, they don't even pay attention often to what the financial aid offer has. And they often will just accept whatever they get because they think that's all they can get. And that's not true. Most of the time, the first offer that you get is just that it's the first offer. You can come back and ask for more. And the reason that happens is because most colleges don't give their best offer from the start. It just doesn't work that way. They like any college, even though they're maybe for profit, not for profit, at the end of the day, they're a business. Each seat, right, costs money. And they want each student to pay as much for that seat as possible. It doesn't mean colleges are greedy, but they also have to pay salaries, they've got expenses. So, anyways, long story short, the first offer is usually not their best. And so if you want to get more money, you got to ask for it. So the biggest question I get, well, so who can negotiate? Like, and what is a negotiation to begin with? So first of all, anyone who needs help paying for college can ask for more money. And when it comes to negotiations, a lot of times people say, well, what does that really mean? Well, a negotiation is just you asking the college for more money. And you may be asking them to either increase the amount of financial aid award they gave you, right? You're asking for more money. Maybe you're not asking for more money. You're asking them to improve the type of financial aid that you got. Maybe you got a lot of loans, but not enough free money like grants and scholarships and tuition discounts. And so you're asking the college to take away some of the loans and replace them with money that you don't have to borrow and pay back. But the only thing I want to mention here is that colleges don't like the term negotiate. They don't like that word. And that's fine. I get it. They call it financial aid appeals. But, whenever you think about it, no matter what it's called, you're negotiating because you're trying to pay less. They're trying to get you to pay more, and you're having a conversation. And in the end, you're going to reach a price that works for both sides, right? You've negotiated to a point that you're both pretty happy. Or maybe you won't. But the bottom line is that's the process. And your goal is to make the bottom line number work. It doesn't matter what the college costs. What matters is how much you are going to have to pay for it out of your pocket. So, who can negotiate? Like I said, anyone can. If you need help paying for college because maybe you just haven't been able to save enough, you can appeal for more financial aid. Maybe you saved for an in state school, but your student fell in love with some expensive private college and you don't have enough to bridge the gap in what you saved. You can apply for a financial aid appeal. Well, maybe something happened in your life where you were planning on saving enough for college, but something changed, something happened, and now you don't have the money to pay for college. You can also apply for a financial aid appeal. The bottom line is this: if you need money, you can get more money. You just need to ask. And the biggest questions that I get from parents um, who are about to ask for more money is, well, how do we do it? How do we negotiate? And the second biggest question is, when? So let's talk about these. So, how do you negotiate for financial aid? Well, number one, you actually have to have applied for financial aid. If you didn't submit the financial aid forms, then colleges don't know that you're in need for money. If you never applied, they might just assume that you're willing and able to pay the full price. And if you can't pay the full price, once your student is accepted, you're going to need to hustle pretty quickly and fill out the financial aid forms because colleges are going to want you to do that in order to get a sense of what is your financial situation like. Do you need money? And if you do, how do they package your financial aid award? So if you've already applied for financial aid back in the fall, then the only thing you have to do is just wait until you get your student gets their acceptance letter. But if you haven't submitted those financial aid forms, if you didn't do the FAFSA or you didn't do the CSS profile, you got to do it today, like right now, because soon your kids are going to be getting their acceptance letters. And then shortly thereafter, they'll get the financial aid offers. And if the school doesn't have your financial aid forms in, they won't put together a financial aid packet for you. So it's that simple. So you don't have a lot of time. Get on it right now. And if you need some help, if you want to make sure you do it correctly, type apply in the comments below, and I'll send you a link. And I'll help you do that correctly. We've got a lot of really helpful videos that can walk you through it, or I can help you personally. Just type apply in the comments below, and we'll help you out. But assuming that you've already applied for the financial aid in the fall when you should have, and at this point, you're just waiting for the financial aid offer, you got to know that there are 4 different reasons or 4 different ways to appeal for more financial aid. So the first may be a special circumstance appeal. Second would be change in your financial circumstances. Third would be mistakes and errors. And fourth would be competing offers. So let's look into these a little bit more. A special circumstance financial appeal simply means that something happened in your financial life or in your personal life that wasn't captured on the financial aid forms. Maybe you're taking care of another family member. Maybe you've got some big medical bills that you didn't have when you first applied. Maybe there's something going on in your life that is changing the way that your finances flow. Like you don't have the money to pay for college that the financial aid forms think you do. So that's why you would appeal based upon special circumstances. Maybe you have a change in your financial life. That's the second reason. Maybe the value of your savings have changed since you filled out the forms. Maybe you have some job changes. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe your income is down. There are a lot of different reasons that people's financial lives change. And if you don't tell the colleges about the changes that are happening in your life, well, they won't know and they won't take them into consideration when putting together your financial aid offer. Now, another very common reason why you would apply for financial aid appeal is because you discovered an error or a mistake on your financial aid forms. Now, this won't happen automatically. Like the college financial aid office is not going to reach out to you and say, we think you made a mistake and we want to give you more money. Never happens. You got to find the mistake or you got to find the error, which happens quite often. When parents or their kids are filling out the FAFSA or the CSS profile, they inevitably make some of the common mistakes. And It makes colleges think you have more money to pay for college than you really do. So if you made a mistake, go back and check your FAFSA, check your CSS profile, make sure everything is perfect. And if you find a mistake, correct it. But if you don't have enough time to fix those mistakes or you're not sure how to, tell the colleges. That's the financial aid appeal that you would fill out. By the way, if you want some help reviewing your financial aid applications like the CSS profile or the FAFSA, we can do it for you very, very quickly. And within an hour, you'll get a report with every single error that we found, and we find all of them, as well as we uncover any additional things that you could have done better to get more financial aid. If you want that, just type appeal in the comments below and I'll send you a link to those videos. Or again, you can schedule the one-on-one time and we'll help you find those mistakes and fix them correctly so that you'll get more money. And then the fourth and final reason to appeal your financial aid, if you have competing offers, let's say your student applied to, 5 or 6 colleges that they got into, and they're all going to give you a different amount of money. Well, if one of them is giving you a particularly good and juicy offer, you can use it to ask the others to increase theirs as well. Because, if it's a competitive situation, if colleges really want your student, use those competing offers to your advantage. But most colleges will tell you how they want you to appeal and whether there's a form, if there's a letter that they want you to fill out, or maybe just sending an email. Whatever the case is, check the financial aid tab on the website of those colleges and just search financial aid appeal. They'll tell you exactly what they want you to do. And then you have to decide what type of an appeal you'll be using to get more money. And then just be very, very clear, be very concise, and make a compelling case. And tell them whether it's special circumstance, change in your finances, maybe you've discovered an error, or that you have competing offers. Again, if you're not sure which one is right for you or how to go about doing this, just type appeal in the comments below, and we'll reach out. And by the way, if you've got any questions, hey, Rossi, I see that you said appeal. I'll get back to you. Um, and if you've got any questions, feel free to use the comments section as well. I'll try to answer them live if you're joining us live. If you're watching a replay, put your questions as well. We'll get back to you on them. We want to be helpful. All right. So that's how you negotiate. You have to file a financial aid appeal, and you use one of those 4 different appeal types. And you just have to be well prepared and be concise. And in almost every case, when we help families go through the financial aid appeal, they almost always, if not always, get more money, or they'll get a better financial aid packet with less loans and more free money. The kind, again, you don't have to borrow. Um, Sorry, not sure what happened. I think I just went out there for a second. Hopefully, I'm back. Hey, if you can hear me, can you just let me know in the comments that you can hear me? I think we just had a little tech glitch with our streaming platform and it interrupted. All right, perfect. Anyways, we're talking about negotiating. Thank you for the heads up and the thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep going on with the show. So, um, when do you negotiate? Like, when's the right time? And I can hear you. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right. So, when do you negotiate? Well, it's after your kids get their acceptance letters from colleges, but before they accept them and before they commit, right? Let me say that again. You negotiate after your kids get their acceptance letters from colleges, but before they accept and commit. So, here's what happens. Most acceptance letters will go out in this winter to spring semester of your kid's senior year in high school. So, sometime between February and March, your kids are going to start receiving the acceptance letters from the colleges that they've applied to. Now, May 1st is a really important deadline you got to know about. May 1st is the National College Decision Day. That's when most colleges will expect your student to commit to one college. That's generally when they'll send the acceptance letter back, and you're going to send a deposit check. And then sometime in the summertime, you're going to pay for the first semester. Now, if you applied early decision or early action, you already have acceptance letters and you might already have your financial aid awards. So you want to do this right now before your kids accept. Because at that point, or beyond that point, I should say, after they've accepted, you lose some of the leverage, right? Because the colleges know at this point you're committed. And so they're less motivated to change their financial aid offer because, well, you've already committed. You already said, yes, we will attend and we'll pay whatever they offered you the first time around. But if you haven't accepted yet, then you've got some leverage, right? Because they want your kids. Every college wants every single seat um, to be filled. And if they can't get the highest price for every seat, then they'll get less than the highest price. And you've got some leverage. That's why if you apply to multiple colleges, you'll appeal with multiple colleges and you're going to be trying to get the highest financial aid award that works for your family. So bottom line is, you want to negotiate as soon as you can. The moment your student gets their acceptance letter and their financial aid letter in the mail or in the email, or if you have to download it from their financial aid portal, the moment you get the offer, if it's not enough money to make you comfortably pay for it, negotiate right away. So look for the financial aid offer. If the bottom line number is more than you can pay, start the negotiation process. So, what do you do after you submit the appeal? So, you want to make sure that you appeal to every college, right, that your student really wants to go to. So, if you've gotten, let's just say, simple example, 5 acceptance letters and you got 5 different financial aid award letters, they're all different. So, it's to your benefit and to your students' benefit to appeal every one of them, right? Unless you already got enough money from some of them, and that's fine. But for those colleges that didn't give you enough money, or maybe they gave you a lot of money, but it's not the kind of money you want. Maybe they gave you a bunch of loans or a bunch of work study, and you'd rather get free money like grants and scholarships, or maybe you want the college to just lower the tuition bill. Figure out what financial aid appeal you're going to use and send it to every one of those colleges. And then, usually within a week, 2 weeks at most, you're going to get a response. It'll be either a second financial aid offer, or it might be an email or a letter from the financial aid office saying, we've reviewed your financial aid appeal. Here is what we can do now. And if it's better and it's good enough, great. Mission accomplished. Pat yourself on the back. Well worth the time that you would have spent, and accept. If it's not enough, or maybe you think they misunderstood something or they didn't get the full picture, submit it again. You've got nothing to lose. I mean, as long as you're doing this in an honest and sincere and thoughtful way, it, you can apply multiple times, because at the end of the day, you want to get the best financial aid offer that you can, and colleges want to be fair. They are reasonable. You just have to explain what the reasons are and ask them to consider them. Now, again, some colleges have better financial aid policies than others. And if you're a parent of a high school senior, they've already applied to the colleges. It's not like you're going to go back and, pick new colleges to apply to that may have better financial aid policies. Like, you've got the colleges that you've already got. So work with what you have. But just realize that some colleges have better financial aid policies than others. Some colleges have more money than others. Some colleges can actually discount their tuition because they can. And if you're looking at in-state colleges, they can't just do that, right? So, anyways, some colleges will give you loans. That's just the bottom line, because that's all they can. And if you've reached the end of that line where you've appealed, you've set your case, and they said, we hear you, we feel you, but this is all we can do, right? And if that's the college that your student really wants to go to, and if that's the college you think they should go to, and you still have to borrow, the thing that I want to leave you with is this: borrow correctly. Don't fall for bad student loans. please don't fall for bad parent loans because there is a ton of really bad loans. In fact, there are more bad loans than there are good loans. But there are good loans. There are loans that the government will pay interest on that you don't have to while the kid's in college. There's some loans that your students will have flexibility in paying off because it's going to be tied to the amount of money that they make once they graduate. If they have any periods of unemployment, they can pause those payments, and there's a lot of protections in place. But then there are some loans on the other side. They're horrible. I mean, they're what we call predatory loans. These are the things that you read about in the news when there's class action lawsuits and people declaring bankruptcy because they can't get rid of these things, and the interest rate keeps going up, and they'll never be able to pay those off. Like, don't fall into those traps. Like all the banks that offer student and parent loans, and all the financial institutions, they know that you're under the gun. Like they know that come May 1st, or even before, your back's against the wall. They know you're running out of runway. They are going to use the deadlines. They're going to use your emotions. They're going to use everything they can to get you to take on those loans. Now, I hate to be negative about these, banks and financial organizations, but it's true. They're just looking to make as much money as they can, and they often use the fact that there's so much going on in your lives right now that you may not understand the difference, or you might not read the fine print, and they might just trick you into it. So please, if you're going to have borrow correctly, and take only the loans that are going to actually give you the good value, as opposed to grow and exponentially multiply and make paying for college not a 4-year but a 30-year thing. Who wants that, right? Anyways, if you want some help, type loans in the comments below and we'll send you a link. Or you can just go to our website. Go to pillar6.com, and I think it's right at the front. You can download a free loans checklist, and it'll tell you exactly which loans are good, which loans are okay, and then which loans you want to avoid at virtually all costs, so that before you borrow, before you sign on that bottom line, you'll know if you're borrowing the good kind of loan or bad. So if somebody could put that on in the comments, it's pillar6college.com. And Rossio, I see that you put some requests in for the appeal and loans. We'll send it to you, or check out our homepage. It's www.pillar6college.com. And I think it's right at the very, very top. We put the free download link, and you can get it right there on the spot. And if you have additional questions, I can help. And hopefully this has been helpful. Let's see if I've got any other questions. We talked about negotiating for best financial aid before your student accepts their final college choice, and so you want to do that before. And by the way, for any parent with a younger student who's still in high school, has not yet applied, negotiating is one of the 4 big things you can do to actually pay less for college. There are 3 other things that you can do beforehand, and I encourage you to continue watching and following this channel. Give me the thumbs up if this is helpful. Share with your friends, but I'll quickly share with you before signing off what those other helpful money-saving areas are. But number 1, it's to position your finances to qualify you for more financial aid when you actually apply. So how you position your finances is really important. The second thing you can do is look for colleges that have really good financial aid policies and actually have money to give, because some colleges have a lot more money to give than others. The third thing you can do is to apply for financial aid early, apply correctly, and then make sure that it was processed in the best way. And so that's the third best thing that you can do to make sure that colleges are actually getting the right information about your finances, so that they can put together the best financial aid packet that actually reflects your finances. So many times I see parents and their kids rush through the financial aid forms because they're got a lot of things going on, and they're not spending enough time. And by the way, it doesn't take long. It can take 30 minutes if you're prepared But because they're unprepared and they still rush through it, they end up making small mistakes on those financial aid forms that ends up costing them a lot of lost financial aid. So position your finances correctly in the most financial aid friendly way, regardless of how much money you make. Number two, look for colleges that have money for your specific situation. Number three, apply on time and apply correctly. And then number four, negotiate, which is exactly what we talked about in this livecast. Negotiate for more money if you didn't get enough or if you didn't get the right type of financial aid. Every college has a financial aid appeal process on their website. Check it out, see what it is for the colleges that you're looking at, and appeal and ask for more money if you need it. So hopefully this is helpful. Again, give me the thumbs up if it is. Share with your friends who have college bound students as well, who are looking for ways to pay for it with ease without getting stuck with bad loans. And I'll see you here next Wednesday, and we'll take another topic apart that'll help you find more money. So until then, have a great week. Be well, be healthy, and all the best. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.